Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate the support. And we're gonna get into a video. One of you guys asked the question, you asked, how am I dealing with flood type concepts? And it's kind of funny because I put together a defensive coverage to deal with flood maybe about a month before you asked that. And again, I ran into the same problem you were having. This guy was running flood all the time, actually a couple of players. And it just seemed like the game just didn't have enough tools for me to kind of deal with it, right? And this is where, you kind of get into, we shouldn't have to do this. I have to say this, okay? This is a bunch defense here. It's like our toolbox against bunch, and obviously you see all this stuff. I think I just dropped a video on Pentagon, tying it together with sort and other good stuff. Sort lock is something else. I mean, it's just whatever, right? But here's cloud match. I put it under the 3, okay? What I think is most important about this video is you want to know why you're running something, okay? Maybe not all the time. Maybe the why is you're running Pentagon this time just to give him something different to attack, right? That could be a reason. But I think what's most important is for you to know where Pentagon is strong, where sort is strong, where bingo is good, where box is good, right? You want to know where it's good. That's where you get into a world where you just get better on defense, right? Because when you notice a player doing something on offense with bunch or whatever it is, you can know what tool to reach for to use against what he's doing to, put your defense at an advantage, right? And lo and behold, we're going to get into cloud match. And this is a coverage I rarely use, right? I only use this coverage when I'm getting a lot of flood type concepts from trip sets and bunch. And I'll show you how I put it together. Now, obviously, we shouldn't have to do this, but again, this is Madden. So here, I believe I'm in box. So you guys saw the concept there, the flood. And the way box should play this, I believe he's going to take, remember, he's first outside underneath. He's going to be looking for work here. And theoretically, he should take the corner and he should play over the top. So you would think it should play this very well, right? Because you have leverage on that. Oh, he's running the corner. Forgot which one's running the corner, but we'll see it, right? But look what Madden does. Okay, maybe I don't see. I made this video a while ago, so maybe I did something with the coverage. Okay, but theoretically, box should be good against this because the corner should take this guy and he should top the go, right? And this is where you get into bingo as well, I believe, okay? So I don't want to mix up the coverages, but either or, we should have tools to defend this. But look at how he's going to take the corner, and what's the problem with that? Well, he's out-leveraged to the outside. It's just wide open, right? Because the corner's being driven out of there, and he's taking the top route, right? It would make much more sense for the corner already being outside to just take the corner and we switch it to where since I'm inside, I can top the inside route, right? So, lo and behold, a flood concept from bunch against some of the tools that Madden gives us can pose to be a problem, right? So I'm like, you know what, let's, this is where we get, I made a video on creating coverages, right? What you do is you figure out the rules of a defense called in Madden, how they have it coded, right? And this is how they have it coded from what I've seen. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to design something to where we kind of create a new coverage, but a coverage that's the strength is good against flood, right? Okay, but you want to design something to where it's still manageable against other coverages that they run or other concepts that they run, right? So who ran the corner? I think he ran the corner, right? He ran the go. Okay, so I mean, theoretically, first deep outside, I think he should take that. He would take first deep inside. So hopefully I didn't mess up the coverage in the game, right? But they switched it. But it is what it is, right? First deep, first outside underneath, okay? So what I decided to do, I'll go ahead and play it. I was looking at this, and I'm like, you know what? We can get into a match coverage here. Why don't I draw the concept here? So I think he runs a corner, he runs a go, runs a flat, right? So you gotta excuse me for this because, oh, there it is. So I'm like, you know what? I'll change this guy to a cloud, right? Now, again, what's the problem here, right? So if he's cloud, we want him in this window to be underneath this throw, right? He's first deep inside, but you could see the potential problem here, right? If they were to run something where, you know, why don't we do something where we run a post here and then he just kind of goes like up the field, right? We could see where we can have like a breakdown in coverage potential, right? So we're not done here. We have to do something with the coverage to make it, you know, structured to where it's kind of like sound and structure, right? So then we're going to make a second adjustment here. We're going to turn him into outside third, right? So now you're outside third, you're cloud corner, and he's still matching, right? He's still first inside underneath. Just because you change somebody in the defense of a match coverage, everybody else is still doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And this is how we create coverages. I made a video on creating coverages. Definitely go check it out. I think I had a video on trips, tight end, flex, and creating coverages there, right? So we're not done yet, right? Outer third, cloud, first outside underneath, first inside underneath, mag. Well, what's the problem here? The deep middle of the field. Well, we're going to make him deep middle third, right? And this is why I call it cloud match, right? Think about the roll coverage where we have cover 3, right? Cloud. Well, this is pretty much the same thing, right? The only difference is we have matching principles in it. I mean, this is almost, you think about like cover 3 Mabel and stuff like that. How in Mabel on the backside, you're locked up man to man, right? It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing on the backside, locked. We have him locked here, right? But now we have matching principles and he's rolling up in cloud, first outside underneath, okay? So now we got to figure out who we are to user in the coverage, okay? And we're going to user this guy, right? So I'm going to change his rules. I believe I have it here. Sooner rather than later. So I think my idea was to put this on a different format. That's why I have these screenshots a little bit too long. But anyways, final 3 inside or final 2 outside. So I'll show you what that is. But we're going to use this player. So you got to make 3 adjustments. Outside guy in the cloud, this guy in the outer third over here, this guy in the middle third. And you have to put a substitution in to where you have a safety at nickel, or there's a couple of different substitution packages that you have to make to be able to turn these guys into what you need them to be. I think you could play big nickel over G and you don't have to change anything due to the formation and the personnel in it. And I'll show you, okay? So I think this was a game where I was dealing with a guy who was annoying me with flood concepts from the bunch. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check into that. So again, this is the whole point. When you're reaching into a toolbox, when I need a measuring tape, right? You know, then I'm reaching for the measuring tape. I'm not just reaching for anything, right? So the defensive coverage in the toolbox, it has a purpose. It's designed, we designed it to better defend flood concepts from bunch, right? But it's still it's still able to function against other things, right? So here it is right here. I think I messed up. I actually put him in a hard flat. I do remember this because this is me live in game trying it for the first time. And you have to make 3 adjustments, and I messed up on this player here, right? But I think we'll get to see how it works against other stuff. So again, if anything comes inside, you have to take it as this player. I think that's what happens here. So he comes underneath right away. So we let him go. And then we take that guy there, right? So you could see a potential problem. If the back would have leaked out, he would have had him, and then this guy would have been free. However, in spacing, you know, you're not going to get a situation to where someone's going to send him to the flat and then send the back that way as well, right? So that's why I'm not really concerned about that. So we'll watch that again. Okay, so you see, we could get potential problems, right? If he goes out this way, he comes in this way, and he sends a third guy in, right? However, it isn't like you're just going to give a one play touchdown, right? So now we'll get into actually getting an interception here, I think, or a big play. So I think, I don't know if he was on this side. Maybe that's what he was doing. Now he has more space. So you gotta pay attention to that. You know, as a guy running flood concepts on the strong side, when he's on the hash to the left and he's throwing flood to this side, well, it makes sense because he has more space to run it, right? This is where you pick up on tendencies of opponents. So here, I hope I checked into it. I did, right? Okay. First to the flat. So what happens? Well, he takes first outside underneath. And I think I messed up on that flat guy again. I did, right? So he should be up here. But I showed this video because we have two routes coming inside, and we have to take the first inside, and we want to play underneath. And this guy isn't matched, but there is a deep middle safety, and that's what he's for, right? So poor stick skills by me, garbage player, right? But I'm just showing the concept here. So I think this was the first game I was running it, maybe. Okay, so obviously I'm not sharp on it. So there I ran it, and you saw how I think he ran flood. No, he ran like snag, right? Out, and he's running that corner, but we are feathering in between, underneath and over the top, and we have someone taking the flat here, right? Because he takes first to outside underneath. And that's the whole point, right? Because if we were playing just a traditional cover 2, he would be vert hook, so he wouldn't be here. And now we're just high-low in the corner with this corner route, right? And then this safety would be further inside, playing deep half. Okay, so, you always have like almost no shot when they're running like a corner and a flat on a cover 2 corner with a deep half safety, right? But he's playing more aggressively to the sideline because he's outer third, and then he's playing underneath with that cloud technique, and then we have this guy matching the underneath route. So this is a good coverage to utilize against like flood type concepts from bunch when you are expecting it. And lo and behold, you can run it in trips as well. Okay, so you can run it in trips, you can run it in bunch, and that's where you get flood type concepts, right? So what we do is I believe we call palms. Okay, and we're going to turn him into a cloud, outer third, middle third. And then we got a user, the middle player, and that's it. So I believe I was checking into it right there. Okay, and my job is I'm looking at the number 3. If he goes inside, well, then I have to pretty much match that play underneath, knowing where my help is. Okay, however, if he goes to the flat, then I squeeze the formation, right? There's no need for me to play inside. I'm squeezing the formation, looking for something coming back inside, right? And if nothing comes back inside, I just continue to widen, right? So that's what you should see me do here, right? He's going outside, so now I'm squeezing. Nothing's there. And look how he throws that, and we get an interception. So we can go back and see. I wonder if I put a replay on that. So I believe he ran corner, go, a flood type concept, right? And you'll see what coverage I get. Yeah, see, he matches that. Look, he's trying to drive off the outside coverage, right? But we have the outer third topping that, and we have the cloud flat corner waiting to drive on that underneath throw. Interception. So that is how I deal with flood type concepts. And again, I got to this by creating a coverage, right? We look at Palm's coverage and how it plays against trips, right? He's Meg on 1. He's a 3-2 read. He reads 3-2. He's a 3 rec. And he's a 3-2 read as well, right? Okay. So with him going to the flat, well, since 3 is out now, he takes that route. Okay. But we turn him into a cloud flat, and we turn him into an outer third. All right, so I think I put it here. There it is. So those are the changes I make. So I call palms, cloud, outer third, deep third, and then I use it as player, right? And that's how we get it. So we can draw up whatever we want and we should know what should happen, right? Let's say we get something like this. Okay, what should happen? Well, he should match that. He should be under this. He should top that. And what's our job, right? 3 goes out, so we squeeze the formation until something comes back in, and there's our guy, and then we play underneath. You almost want to play outside leverage with this relative to the divider line, knowing that you have a deep third safety, right? Let's draw something else. How about... I don't know, something crazy, right? So he should be in the window here. He should be over the top. 3-2 read. He would actually match this. So this would be bagged. And this is where you can get into a problem here, right? So we would ride him upfield, and then he would top this. So this is where you can, because the problem here is he would be open here, right? So again, this is the issue with Madden, with us trying to design something that we shouldn't have to do, but we're forced to do this because they don't kind of give us the tools necessary to deal with stuff, right? But I mean, how many times have you seen a route combination like this, right? So the whole point is, you know, you can't draw up something to where someone just goes scot-free up the field for an easy touchdown against this. We are covered in our bases here, and it's a coverage designed to deal with flood, right? So I know this may have been a boring coverage here. I wonder why I put that here. A boring video, but I decided to throw this up here to kind of give you what I do against flood type demons from trips and bunch. So what am I showing here? I think here I'm showing how you can try to create like a cover 3 match type coverage, right? So I see what I'm doing here. So this is, again, ties into creating coverages, right? Obviously we call palms, and what we do is we put him in deep third, we hook curl this player, put him in deep middle, and this is where we can kind of create, you know, a match type coverage with a cover 3 style, right? He's a 3-2 read. So we can draw something up right here, right? Let's draw... Yeah, let's draw flood. Yeah, see, this would be a potential problem here. You see, would be hooked to curl. He would match that, and then he would run off with that. So this throw would be there, right? So we could sit here all day. You know, I'm not going to hold up this video. But again, this is why I put together that cloud match type coverage. Again, the strength was to deal with trips type, flood type concepts, and then flood type concepts from bunch, because it was getting on my nerves, right? So there's a replay of the video. Okay, so that was the whole point of the video. I hope you guys got something from this video. I mean, this is a coverage that I rarely use, but it's always good to have something in the bag, you know, because you never know. I mean, you might find yourself in the 4th quarter of a game. He's ran the flood type concept 6 or 7 times. It's for your Super Bowl, or maybe you're playing in a tournament finals game. You know, it's good to have this in the bag. So, you know, when you run into, look at that. I mean, I'm glad I threw that in there. Right? When you run into this, you know it's coming. You can dial this up, and you can better defend flood, right? So we can see what happens here. So yeah, he's looking for that flat. He has that runoff, and then he has the corner, right? He's going to top the runoff, and he should play outside leverage on that corner. Right, deep middle, and I should be collapsing on this to close the window, but this is probably in my early on tries of running the coverage, because I barely run it, and it's just not there. So I will leave it at that. I believe I have a little bit left in this video. I don't know what's left. Okay, a red screen to kind of burn your eyes. Okay, I think that's it. So I hope you guys got something from this video. And, you know, and as you see, I mean, think about it. When you play Madden, you know, you really think, okay, all we have is box, right? When you go through all the stuff that we can try to put together and create, I mean, you can come with a lot of different things. You know, now granted, none of them are technically 100% sound, but we're just doing the best we can with the game that really isn't helping us out. So I'll leave it at that. Hope you guys got something from this video, and I hope you keep coming back for more, man. Peace.